Hi Virgo. All right, this is the best I can do with this lighting and these glasses, and yes, I'm wearing them. They're my new glasses. They're huge. I know. Scorpio season. All right, so it's gonna hit different for all of you in a very specific way, though. For some of you, it's stretching out from your season being this futuristic, future-based season that was getting everybody ready for this season, in my opinion. And so this comes with your overall look at your rebirth. Now, for some of you, that's going to look a certain way. It will be mainly about how you deal with things in general. So from how you act out of the emotions, how you're feeling, how you're dealing with things, your action and non-action right now, based off of your emotions, are a huge part of the long game. It's really important this month to do your best. It feels like a neutral month, so even when or if you become emotionally distressed or anything in that way, make sure you're finding ways to really understand those parts of yourself. Mars and Scorpio is really bringing a very particular insight to the forefront for you. And it's about how you go about things. It's understanding that this month you'll feel more understood and accepted, maybe even on your own more than ever, because it's that month of like Scorpio, weird, everything's accepted, it just is what it is, like every type of person, being, it's just like that ultimate Halloween feeling of this is how deep this goes for you, because you've always showed to certain people this one version of yourself, and you show to other people other characteristics of yourself, but there's this one part of yourself that you keep hidden. And now that part of yourself is becoming the part that actually needs to come out. And that for you could feel extremely giving if you're a Virgo who is ready and just understands that that's kind of what the deal is here. And how you can give to yourself is by showing others these parts of yourselves, this parts of yourself. Because ultimately the Knight of Cups, Two of Wands, it's giving so much to your future. You might have a lot of emotional intelligence and things that you might want to say to people, and you might want to like have many teaching lessons with them, only to those who are receptive, to be honest with you, because those who aren't receptive, Mars and Scorpio, it might become combative. And this month isn't the best month for you to become combative. Again, it's just because you can get really sick this month as a sign who can get very sick. And in a sign that ultimately people can become very sick in. And Chariot in the world is that the more you take in consideration where you're at and what you really want and the energy you've put in so far, you want to keep putting that in. So these three cards are really, because some of you want to be somewhere you're not yet. Sorry, these three cards. You want to be, each one of you are leveling up, and it will happen. It's just not happening like this. And it still will happen like this. It's just that you might want it sooner than it's ready to be given to you, because ultimately you're still preparing. And when you get to that place, when you finally start to see that change in that, and then that ultimate change in the long run, you'll understand something so important for people who will ask you for advice. And that's a huge part of your life, is yes, people will look to you for advice, whether it's actually speaking to you. And I do believe more and more in your future, you will be speaking to people more, but it's how you actionably do things without necessarily waiting. This month is really about you taking also initiative in places in your life that you might have been wanting to take initiative in, because something's opening up for you by the end of the month. This Cancer, the Chariot card's very strong this month. So if you have, or if you're dealing with a Cancer, if you have Cancer in your chart, there's a cycle ending and like this new one opening this month for you, especially in terms of how you choose to. We've had this moment a few times, how you choose to view what's ahead, essentially. There was something you needed to deconstruct in your mind in order to reach the now cycle that you're beginning. You needed to reach a certain place in your mind to know that there really is no, this road, even though you tried it this way, it's not going anywhere for you. It's keeping you behind the wall. It's keeping you constantly giving to a structure that you just don't, it's okay. You just don't want to be a part of it anymore. You just don't want to be held down to it. And now you're allowing yourself to invest in yourself and what you really want as an individual. While some of you will be keeping a job and do it, maybe starting something on the side, or really starting to, or even lowering your hours in one and putting more hours in another. And this month it becomes more obvious to you where you need to do that. Again, Mars in Scorpio is going to be a lot of energy for you, but it's an energy that doesn't make you want to talk. And it could, but you have to just be careful when you talk, just a little bit. You might be really abrasive, and you might need to, be that way. It's just like a protectant sometimes. 2 of Swords, 4 of Swords. This dreaming is going to put your energy in this specific place, because for a while it's been in a place that actually, and for a lot of you, it is that sexual place where you think is going to give you energy back, but it never does. Not right now anyway. Like, this isn't really a time for you to be in a relationship unless they really understand where you're at, and that you can only give what you can give right now, because there's a lot you're giving back to yourself. There's a lot of you allowing yourself to have this freedom with how you want to view and see your life moving forward, and you want to feel relaxed in yourself. And this month you have that ability to do that, as long as you just don't invite in like unnecessary doubters, unnecessary people. Like, don't talk to people who are going to doubt you, basically. But again, still, excuse me, hold on one second. I had to sneeze. This 2 of Wands that becomes the Chariot is something you've been putting a lot of time and energy into for a while. And it's the only way forward, and you understand that. Also, the only way forward is to give yourself the time and alone time that you do crave and need, and especially for your emotional processing, especially for after last month, bottom of the deck. So as long as people in your life understand where you're at right now, and you constantly reinforce that, and then also giving yourself time and space to enjoy it, but it's really about understanding how you work right now, because it's going to bring you so much more prosperity to understand that part of you. That's a place where Aries have been in for a while too. So if there's an Aries in your life that you've seen go through like a total transformation pretty much, or if there's someone in your life that you look to, they're a great person to have these conversations with and teach you something, especially if that's the kind of archetype you're looking to go for in this lifetime. You've always thought individually, and I really did want to talk to you guys for a minute. You guys have always been able to be on your own in an individual way, and like how you think about things, how you feel about things, how you move in life. But there's always been this part of you that couldn't always give your full attention to that creative or your understanding of what life could become for you. You know how much work you have to put in to do that, especially if you know in the very real reality of where you're at in your life, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And this month brings it to the forefront in a way that, yeah, it might feel abrasive at first. But then after that glance, you realize that you're actually not doing that bad. It's just about maybe you're surrounding yourself with people who are constantly adding to only the negative parts of you. And that's a really important thing to be careful about this month, because you could really hurt yourself in the long run if you choose to do that. It's really important that that you be equally non-overbearing as you allow others to be to yourself, because this month also shines a light a little on the control, or the non-control, the lack of control in life. And so you will find you'll have energy, a lot of energy, and this energy is normally, the creative and sexual energy are very much equal. So you have to choose how you disperse that energy. You have to choose how you decide to use it. And a lot of you, and this is actually kind of a theme, is like you're going to need that extra surplus of energy. So you might as well not exhaust yourself before you go to sleep, or really slowly get into the sleep, slowly get into rest. Yeah, it's a great time to learn and to listen for you guys right now, because you're actually a lot, and that would only amplify what you already know. And if you still have that side of yourself that just can self-sabotage, it's time for you to take a proper look at. Even though you do so much well and you do so much right, it's just weighing on you at this point. Or if there's just a truth you need to tell or something you need to say, it's weighing on you, and it's causing you to almost take it out in yourself in a way you don't even realize. So, and I think this month you're ready. You're ready to tell that truth, not only to yourself, but whoever needs to hear it. And it's going to come out in a way that may feel or come off. Just notice how it comes off and notice what happens from there. Okay? Yeah. A lot to handle, right? As always, you hold some of the finest quality. It's just about how you execute and when. All right, Virgo. This is the first part. All information to work with me one-on-one is below. And the second part, we look at the cards and I show you and read them to you again. Okay? Have a great month. Hi, Virgo. Okay, so first thing that initially came to me as I looked at this just now before I started recording is that there's a huge shift in how you exert who you are or show who you are, and also who you are now seeing yourself as, and how there's sometimes this part of you that knows and understands, but there's this other part of you that can't give it to yourself enough. And this month is going to really ask you to take a look at that because it's going to help you figure out or decide on where you're going next, because it's going to help you get out of any rut if you feel like you're stuck. If you feel like you have inspiration, then all of a sudden you don't, or you have these moments of clarity and then all of a sudden it's just a shift. It's Scorpio season, but it's also how up and down things might have been for a while. And from Death to the Chariot, it's like you're gaining control, some kind of control, in a way that's healthy, while you're losing control on something that has been to your detriment. And it's all through what you and how you view yourself. And this Emperor is this very stubborn, strong, determined, focused person. And yet the Seven of Pentacles. So there also could be just this big shift. The Emperor is always also about the self in Aries. So rules the head. Rules the head. And so, and Scorpio rules the sexual organs. So those two things are extremely, that's so funny. I didn't even mean to do that, but they're very relevant. And Mars also is one ruler of Scorpio. So right now, if it may feel like it's playing on you a little bit, and what you have to, or what if you're asking yourself, like, how do you understand what's happening? It's like, allow the Knight of Cups to come through. Allow yourself to visualize, but also understand that there will be different things along the way. As a mutable earth sign, you understand that, but there's a change, there's an ending in a cycle, because there's something that you might be asking yourself more about your purpose, or how you want to live your life. And especially if you are feeling good about money right now, and if you're not, actually, either way, it's just kind of very relevant. And it seems like by the end of the month, you almost have this very simple way of relaxing your mind and understanding, and you all of a sudden can feel a huge shift in how your emotions are handled. And that's only if you give yourself that mental discipline to really focus that, because like the sexual energy is also creative energy, and your mind might be extremely focused on that right now. But you don't have to be too close to things to let them grow, as you know. I just think that you can use a reminder sometimes. And the way that you'll get out of your head about how you see things going is the more that you rest into the emotions will show you almost. So for those of you who understand more in this way, the more that you experience your emotions and let them out in a healthy, productive way, then the more control and understanding you'll have over them. I know that's not always easy, but the Chariot says that you are being more concerned about that, because have your passion, have your purpose, and connections are a big part of that as well. And the one that you have with yourself is really important right now. So, very clearly. So, yeah, make sure you're also resting that mind. Okay, Virgo? I will see you next month. All information is below.